What's going on, guys? Welcome back to our channel. If this is your first time tuning in, let me show you a little bit of what we're doing every day. We do a little bit of this, and a little bit of that, and a little bit of that, and also a little bit of that. And sometimes, when we're lucky, we get to do a little bit of this as well. As you can see, the words are written in German. That's why we are located in Germany, and we do engine harnesses, throttle bodies, and lots of more stuff actually that you can all check out on our website. If you have a Mercedes model out of the 90s, feel free to write us an email, to give us a call, and we will definitely help you out with that. With that being said, let me get you to our first problem car of the day. As you can see, there's a SL600 on the lift, which came to us because it does need a new wiring job as far as engine harness, alternator harness. The airflow sensor plug harness needs to be replaced all the way down to the control modules. And we already did the throttle bodies. So the customer actually, it's a customer from before. He sent us the throttle bodies before. We did them, he put them back in because he thought that the problem was going to be solved. But I told him before he just sent us the throttle bodies that it's probably going to be more than just that. What exactly do I mean by that? Well, this is actually going to be like a small tutorial for all the people that have those engines, so you can check for yourself what to look for. So both throttle bodies, like I said, were already replaced, but they actually look pretty dirty. So I'm thinking, I don't know when this was, but this customer must have had this car parked somewhere outside where there's actually a lot of, as you can see right here, there's lots of salt and leftover from, like, I don't even know what this is, what you call this. But anyways, I took out one of these plastic covers already. And if you do take a closer look, these wires right here, they were supposed to have some insulation right around it. But there's nothing else but the bare naked wires that you can see. So this is actually one harness or one part of the whole engine harness. And if you dig deeper, which we will, we're going to take everything apart, but you can already tell, even if I haven't even taken off this cover, but look at this. These were supposed to be covered wires that are also very important, but there's, like I said, nothing left to it. Also very important, people don't know this because you can't see, it's not so obvious like it is on the engine harness, but both wires or both plugs for the airflow sensors, so it has one on the right side or left side in this case, and right side over here. Both plugs on each side actually have like a rubber sealing or rubber surrounding that goes into the next tube. And if you actually pull this sealing back a little bit, there's only a couple of inches, centimeters, wherever you're from, where you can look at the wires and you can see right now. I'll show you because I will cut it. You pull it back a little and then you just cut all the wires right where they go inside, like this. Then you can see you have the wires that will be connected inside here, and all of this stuff will look like this. So this is one side of the airflow sensor plug, and you can see that if I bent these wires in any kind of way, the insulation is just not existing whatsoever. And this wiring is actually on both sides. This is actually a loom that we cut like I just showed you. Which is funny is that it's really just those 5 wires that come out of it. So the rest of the loom is really perfectly fine. So you do not have to do all this work and take out the full body harness of this car. You just have to cut these plugs like I just did right at the entry of the other harness, and just send us those 2 plugs. And what we will do is we will give you the whole way. Yeah, well, it's too much talking right now. I will show you a bit, or you will see how we start working on it. This is just a way for you to actually recognize why things could not be working, why maybe the computer tells you that the airflow sensors itself, that they're not working. It's mostly not because the sensor itself break, it's really just the wiring. If you already have questions right now to any of the things I just said, just write it down in the comments right now as we speak while I'm working on it, and then maybe by the end of this video, all of us will be smarter or not, or you're just gonna have fun watching me work. Ready? Let's go. So engine harness is out. Take a closer look once again. Well, I guess it doesn't look too bad. We've seen much more worse. But if you actually do dig deep, you can see these little cracks, these little, yeah, I guess you call them just cracks, and it'll be all the way down to the control module itself. So the harness goes inside of here, and then you can plug it in right here. And also I can show you right now, we're gonna dig deeper into this topic as well. But this is actually the plug for the alternator harness, and then that one goes down all the way here, all the way down to the alternator, all the way down to the generator, to the oil control level sensor. I'm having a hard time. You know, my English is pretty good, I would say, but still it's different when you do this thing every day, or not every day, but mostly in most videos in German, and now you have to come up with all these English words for each and every component here in this engine bay. Stick with me, guys, though, okay? Stick with me. If I mispronounce or misinterpret some of these parts, well, stick with me. I guess you'll get through the point. I guess you will know what I'm talking about. I hope so. If not, yeah, stick with me. Anyways, engine harness is out. What we'll do is we will cut off the other plug of the airflow sensors, and then we will actually take apart all of the filters too, the air filters too, so we can get to the throttle bodies itself, because the customer actually asked us to check the throttle bodies again if he installed them correctly. And to check if they're actually working 100%. So this is what we're definitely going to do. And then once that is done, I will just keep you updated on how this is all going to look when it's all finished. So let's keep going. Let me show you once again where we are right now. So both throttle bodies, or let's one step back. I took both air filter boxes out, so there's a little more room with this beast right here. So now you can see both throttle bodies, or you can see even better right now, are open and look like this. We will actually test those, not right now, not in this setup right now, but we will test them once we pull them out, put them on top of the engine, and they will actually talk to each other, meaning one will open the same exact way like the other one. But what I wanted to show you right now, I did not cut off the second airflow sensor plug just yet, because I wanted to show you where they actually go to. So one of the plugs we cut right here actually goes into the loom that's sitting right here. So this will actually be all the way down here. Then it will drop all the way back here, and it will fall and go all the way down to 4 spots in each module of the LH unit. So we will take those out, and I will show you the same exact pins that the plugs actually go to. When customers or you send us the plugs, you will actually receive a full diagram of where to put those wires back in. We will do this together. I just want to give you a quick heads up right now as we speak, because I'm actually looking at it right now already, so you maybe hear things twice or 3 times in this video, but I want everybody to understand how important it is not to take out the whole existing harness because it doesn't make sense whatsoever. Also, I already told you before, this is the alternator harness. I had to take it out because it's actually in its way for the cover to take off. And if you glimpse inside of this one, I don't know if the camera's actually going to catch it besides my dirty fingernails. It's definitely broke as well. Okay, so next thing that we will do is I will actually show you with the multimeter where those pins go to. So 1 and 2. Now you can see it's in German right now, but it doesn't make sense. We have the same version in English too, but you can see 1 is green, 1 is blue. Ones are green, ones are blue. Now you say, okay, well, there's 2 green ones and 2 blue ones. Yes, you're completely right, but the numbers that are actually attached to this whole thing are only filled in 1 blue and only in 1 green one. So there's really nothing wrong that you could do. So if we do take a close look right now, we're looking for blue as we speak, 34 blue. There's little numbers on both of these sectors. So 34 blue goes in pin number 2. Now what could possibly happen right now is that it will actually, you will hear the sound on all 5 connectors, meaning all the wires are so attached to each other already that there's no signals one by one going to each other. There's all the signals are going to each and every number and each and every number on the control module and each and every number on the plug. Well, makes sense. If there's, like I said, if there's wires connected in any of these constellations here, the car cannot run properly. So now number 2 inside of the plug, it does make a peep. Let's see if it peeps on any other ones. No, it doesn't. So in this case, it actually did work, at least right now as we speak. Maybe right now if I do all of this stuff, watch this. Now I'll go in 2. It does make a sound. 3, still not. 4. See, I'm in number 4 right now. Same spot over there. And it does make the sounds. Well, it didn't, not anymore. So now it got disconnected. Well, there you go. See it? 4, 2, 4, 2. It's not supposed to be like that. So that is really, really dangerous. And this is actually the time where you break really expensive modules that you cannot buy just out of the shelf anymore. You have to buy them used. And if you buy them used, you don't know if they're working. And obviously it's going to cost you a fortune. That's why it is so important to do this kind of job properly. So next up, the alternator harness I will also take out right now. For all you guys that want to do it yourself, this is not a tutorial for you to take it out, but I still want to give you a nice little clue of where this one is going and where not. So make sure to always take pictures or even look at this video, but this harness was actually right behind this water pipe right here. You can see this one is going to the water cooler right here. It was underneath, and then you had this little bracket that you have to take out, and now it kind of like disappears from up top here. So what we have to do right now is actually lift the car up and look from underneath where all the wires will go. I kind of know, but still it doesn't matter. We'll still lift it up, and then I can show you, hopefully from underneath, if it's not too dark, a couple of spots here and there where this one goes. All right, let's get it. This car actually has some major oil issues too. So it's been here for like, I don't even know, maybe 3 hours. We already did take the cover off before, and then we put it back on the lift because we had to put another car on it in between. But you can see there's one big oil leak right here, and there's even one in the back that I haven't even noticed like this. And If you do take a close look right now, everything is so freaking shiny that you don't even know where to start and where to finish. So, yeah, God knows where all of this oil is coming from. This is not a small leak. This is really a super major one. There's one hose right here. I don't know if you can catch it right now. How to catch it? This one right there. You can see there's like a fresh drop coming off of this one, which I already noticed before, but now even this one in the back, I have not even realized where this might be coming from, but this one goes all the way inside of there, which then also is just another topic also for all of you guys. Everyone with the M119 engine or even the M120 engine, there's no small bits and pieces anymore. You cannot just fix one little oil issue by, you know, scratching on a little surface. These engines, they need work, meaning there's no room to work to take out, you know, little hoses or little rings and pistons and whatever to fix some minor oil issues. No. If you want to do it, just do it right. Take out the whole thing. Make sure you replace the timing chain. You replace all the other components that are inside of this engine. I know some of them are not even, you cannot even buy them anymore. I know some of them are really hard to find. We do have some in stock, but still, that's the reason why these cars are so expensive by now. Because if you find good ones and you know that somebody actually spent money in this engine, there's easily going 10, 15K in this engine alone, just by, you know, service, just by maintaining this engine, easily going 10 to 15K in this engine right here. Well, we will try to do our best to focus on what we need to do, and then we'll see all the other things. We'll see where the customer is actually, where he wants to end up. Okay, so back to the alternator harness itself. Besides oil dripping in my face, you can see that right there, that there's one of the oil sensor plugs right there. Another part of the wiring actually goes to the alternator itself. So this is one of the little looms. And then this little strip right here goes all the way down over here along the panel and above. Let's see if we can catch it. Hard to find, but somewhere on top of this oil leaking machine. Like I said, this is not a tutorial. We have tutorials about this engine, how to take stuff apart. This is not it, but I will just try my best to get everything out without putting too much oil in my face and hands, and then I will show you the taken out harness once it's laying on the floor. So here you have two examples of the harness itself. Let me see if they're actually twisted the right around. No, they're not. You can see the one plug is right here. This is the same plug that you can see right here. It's the same length. We have the, we try to make the same material. This one is already broke all the way. Let me take one step back. Yeah, in this case, you can see the most important thing why to send this one up front is actually this plug right here. You cannot buy this one. Same with the oil sensor plug. This one is actually worth gold as well, because actually here, pretty prime example. This one still has the top to it, while this one doesn't. It's not a big deal, but like I said, you just can't go into a shelf and take out the new plug out of the shelf. Yes, you can rebuild it. Yes, you can reproduce it, but it's up to another, you know, it will cost more and more and more and more. So that's why the existing stuff actually still works. Nothing is wrong with the plastic plugs itself. It's just the wiring. So yeah, take a look once again. Nice and fresh. All bad, very dangerous. The car is actually running behind me, as you can probably hear. But what I didn't like is that it's not running as smooth as a V12 possibly could. Meaning, it's misfiring a little bit. So you can tell that sometimes it's not even a cylinder, but sometimes it just has like certain spots where you can tell that the engine is shaking up a little bit. It was worse. It's worse when it's cold. Once it's warmer, it gets better. But one really cool thing for you guys even to check, if you have one of these things, spark plugs are new. The spark plug wires, they're old, but yeah, should be replaced. It's a big of a hassle to replace them because you have to take out the full manifold. And now watch this. If you take off the oil cover of these cars, you should feel some kind of difference while taking out. And you can tell that the engine is not even shaken up one bit. Nothing has changed. The RPM is still the same, which is usually a sign for this whole manifold to have some kind of leak inside of the system. Meaning you would have to dig a lot deeper. It would cost a lot more money to get this thing running perfectly. Also, the engine mounts are totally shot as well. In order to take them out easily, you would have to take off the exhaust or some of the parts around it to actually get to each and every screw without breaking your hands. So like I mentioned before, these engines need work, and if you work on them, do it right. That's why this customer is done as we speak. He wants to drive it and maybe check if there's more stuff to do, and maybe he will return to us with all the other stuff that has to be done, as far as even like timing chain, you know, whatever else is happening here to get this thing nicely running. I guess this was a successful job. We already have, it's pretty dark outside. There's a CL600, you can't even tell right now, is already waiting for its next wiring job, ASR problems, and a whole lot of more stuff. Actually, maybe there's going to be a video to it. Write it down in the comments if you like this video. Write down in the comments if you're interested in something else, if we should, you know, explain something a little more detailed or not. Thank you guys for watching. I see you next time. Peace.
Oh my God. Fresh.